Hello, this is Bobby at 55LE Repair with a video for LG mainboard for 55LE5500-UA. That board I'm focusing on a unique marking on the board. The board was returned here after repair because one HDMI port wasn't working, and that is fairly unusual. We've seen it before, but usually when the whole TV doesn't work or misbehaves or when all ports don't work, the problem is in the main processor, and when a single port doesn't work, and that's usually the sole complaint about the board, it's usually the HDMI selector. So when a board comes in with a major problem of none of the HDMI ports working, and I've explained that in other videos, we don't usually test all the ports because the problem is in the different it is after the HDMI selector. The HDMI selector is not affected, and this has been the case in easily 99.99% of the time with thousands of boards that have been, hundreds very easily. I don't know if there have been thousands, but a lot of boards. So we resolve the main problem and test one of the HDMI ports, and all of them work. Well, in this case, apparently the HDMI selector was defective and needed to be replaced. So this is HDMI 1, which wasn't working before. And of course, when we do have a reason to suspect that this is the problem, then we test all the ports and we know that they work fine. But for the sake of saving time, we don't test something that we don't expect to have been failed and which has no reason. In the same fashion which we don't test all the apps in the smart TVs unless the main EEPROM gets replaced, which carries all of them. And in fact, even then, sometimes we test the basic functionality. That's how the business works. Anyhow, this is what is connected to the TV. Don't pay attention to the lines. They just showed up the other day, and they show up on all of our boards. Either the cables are being wrong or the panel is starting to go wrong. It is not related to this board. We get the exact same effect with all the other working boards that we have here. It's either something in here, or more likely, in my opinion, it's just the panel is going bad, which is quite alright. We can still use it for testing. Just for the sake of the demo, I'm gonna switch that up to HDMI 2 and plug it in and fix the board so that it doesn't move. Go forward. Pick up the remote and go to HDMI 2. We did test all the boards, all 4 of them work fine. So we're sending the board back. We do apologize. Again, this is normal to happen when we don't test everything on a board. We only test for the functionality that is reasonably to be affected by the problem that we detect and we see, and we will continue doing it that way. We will handle those individual cases on a case-by-case scenario and resolve it. Thank you very much, and once again, apologies for the situation.